What's up YouTube, Awesome Yui here, and today we're here with a deck profile on Elemental Heroes or Masked Heroes for the January 2016 Melast banned list. This is pre-breaks of post-breaks of Shadows, but there aren't any breaks of Shadow cards in here yet because I don't have any. But I will give, for the extra deck, I don't run Infinity now, of course, like I said, since I don't have it. But I will give you something you can change to add in Infinity, because that's definitely a card, at least with the Ptolemaeus, that I would recommend you running if you were to take this to a as competitive as possible tournament thing. You know, so yeah. But I'll get into that when we get there. So first for the main deck, I don't know the cards that are in Breaks of Shadows, but I feel like this is pretty solid, and you might not change anything with Breaks of Shadows. But if there's like an anti-meta card or something in there that would be really good for Elemental Heroes, then of course go ahead and add that in. So for the monsters, we have triple Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, double Bubble Man, and that's it for the heroes. Double Summoner Monk to get into your Shadow Mist, and double Goblinberg, also for Shadow Mist of course. So that's 9 monsters, and that's it. I'm only running 9 monsters. So yeah, that's nice and simple. Then for the spells, for Consistory, we have triple Upstart Goblin, then just the 1 reinforcements of the army, since we can only run 1 now, but I just opted to replace those with Emergency Call. Now this pretty much does the same thing. The only thing you lose is that with reinforcement you could also, or you had the opportunity to search Goblinberg. I mean, most of the time that wasn't what you're doing, but you could. Emergency only searches for Shadow Mist and Bubble Man. Then triple Hero Lifts, also to get out your Shadow Mist. Triple Mask Change, double Instant Fusion, just 2, thought was enough. Triple Forbidden Lands, now this is the Protect Your Darklaw game, which you really have to do with this deck nowadays. Triple Lands really helps with that. Raigeki and Book of Moon. Book of Moon just mainly another Protect Darklaw card. Then for the traps, I'm running triple Blazing Mirror Force. Now this is a card that can be tricky to play with, but I really like it in combination with Darklaw. Of course, everything it's banished instead of destroyed when you have the Darklaw out. But you know, with the damage, it's a bit of a tricky thing. But because you do poke in damage first, usually this can be a game ender, or not a game. Yeah, it could be a game ender as well. So it just helps you get to game earlier than otherwise would be possible. And like I said, it's relatively easy for you to poke some damage with the bigger decks than it is for them to damage you. So when you get ahead in damage with a card like this, yeah, it's pretty easily for you to finish your opponent off. I really like the Blazing Mirror Force in this deck. Double Call of the Hunted. We do have Instant Fusion now as well, so I decided not to max out on Call of the Hunted. Double Trap Trick Shrapnel Nightmare. Really like this card right now against the Pendulum decks. So this is definitely a card I was running, or I want to run. Then double Grand Horn of Heaven. Now this was from Dimension of Chaos, I believe. This is like a Horn of Heaven, which you don't have to tribute something. Your opponent draws a card instead. It's only during the Maze Wave, you know, but that's when they do their special summoning. You can negate the summon, the entire summon, and your opponent draws a card, but they have to end the main phase. So that's pretty good, especially against those Pendulum decks. That's pretty good. You know, for them, drawing a card isn't a big deal either. Thanks to Darklaw, sorry, didn't come up with them. Thanks to Darklaw. So this is I like this card. I really like this card, even in some other decks that wouldn't be heroes, but especially in heroes, I think this is like almost a staple at this point in time for the hero deck. And yeah, I just like it in general. I mean, you're not going to play it when you're playing like a Pendulum deck yourself. You're just going to commit to all spells. But when you're playing a bit of an anti-meta deck like this, or something that is heavy trap based, this is definitely something I would consider playing. But like especially in this deck, I feel like it's pretty much a staple. Boneless Trap Hole, Solemn Warning, and then Emptiness. These two are definitely like the best 2 traps in the game right now. I really like Boneless as a close third for your staple traps, pretty much. you know, those generic one-offs. So that's the entire main deck. That's 40 cards, of course, 37 if you count the upstarts. For the extra deck, like I said, I would change a couple of things. Triple Dark Law, you could go to 2. I've always liked triple, but you could go to 2. 1 Anki, 1 Acid, the double Norden. Theoretically, you can instant fusion in some other cards as well, of course. But Norden is definitely your instant fusion guy. Castel, Arc, Excalibur, put down 4,000 damage quite easily. Emerald, Steelstorm Roach. Now, let me just put down all these cards down first, so I can tell you. Karagorgon, Dweller, and Gaga Samurai. Gaga Samurai is really good. I cut Blade Armor Ninja for him. I do like Gaga Samurai a bit more. You do a bit less damage. You go from 44 to 38, so you minus yourself 600 there. But he has the extra ability to protect Dark Law. When you have your Dark Law out along with Gaga Samurai, he can make it so Dark Law can be targeted, or you don't attack him. The attack gets converted to Gaga Samurai, making it so your Dark Law can stay on the field a bit longer, which is a good extra benefit of him. Now, what I would add would be Ptolemy with Infinity, and I'd probably cut Roach and 1 Dark Law probably, or maybe Silent Arc or Excalibur. Roach is really good for the Infernoid matchup, but you don't have the hardest matchup as it is. So, you know, Roach could be put in the side deck or just be skipped entirely when you go with Ptolemy and Infinity. So yeah, that's the deck. Pretty quick deck profile, I think. But there's not too much that's really like, you know, strange or anything about this deck. But still, this is definitely still a good deck. If you play this right and you can protect your Dark Law long enough, this is definitely a deck that can still be a pain in the ass for all the other decks out there right now, especially, or even the Pendulum decks. So, and I think we've seen that as well with heroes, you know, doing well at some of the regionals at least. But you have to keep in mind that people aren't really taking this. So when you see a hero player doing well in a regional, he might be the only one at that regional playing heroes, or, you know, like 5 people or something like that playing heroes. While, you know, the 10 people that are topping with Pendulum Magicians, you know, at the regional, there were probably like, if let's say you have a 500 people regional, a good chance 300 to 400 people were playing Pendulum Magician, if not more. So, you know, when you say, well, they don't really top that much at all. In comparison to the amount of people that actually play these decks, it's quite a lot. You know, you're going to get like a hefty percentage of the people that are playing heroes that are actually topping with them, especially if they know what to do and not just playing heroes because it's budget, but because they're playing hero because they either really like the deck and are good with the deck and build the deck properly to beat those Pendulum decks. So yeah, I feel like the build I came up with like this is pretty decent. You should be able to do pretty well with that. And yeah, I've always liked heroes. Or, you know, heroes just it's been here since GX, I believe. It's called the you know, the second series of Yu-Gi-Oh. After Yu-Gi-Moto, you got Jaden, I believe it's called. I didn't actually watch it, but you know, it's just the nostalgic factor is here with heroes, and yeah, it's just a cool deck. I like the mechanic. You have all those fusion monsters in your extra deck, which is just awesome on its own. So yeah, that's the deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. In the comment section down below, let me know some other things you want to see profiled, as well as if there is, or if there are, some cards in Breaks of Shadows that would really benefit this deck. Let me know, and I'll see if I can find them and pick them up and maybe redo a deck profile with those cards. So for now, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!